back over at the Will Pond Complex, so fans will get a chance to get to see you in some Big Ten action coming up on Friday. We'll get to that shortly. Before we get to that, though, Coach, let's reflect, rewind, go back to the opening of the Big Ten schedule out at Nebraska. You mentioned it was going to be a tough place to play, tough place to open up, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, they're playing really well right now. They've won 11 straight, and playing at their place is always difficult, but that's what you want in big-time college baseball atmosphere. And unfortunately, it was a combination of us playing very poorly and them playing very well, and we had a horrible weekend.
Yeah, Coach, that first game, and I guess when we get into the second game, it'll be the same thing. But boy, the guys dug yourselves a really deep early hole with a lot of first inning runs for the Huskers.
Yeah, you could say that. That's an understatement for sure. Spot of 5 in the bottom of the first two games doesn't bode well for being able to win ball games. And certainly you'd like to see some resiliency and be able to come back from that. But in the first game alone, it was 11-0 after the fourth inning, and they just jumped us, and we didn't do ourselves any favors. We issued a lot of free passes. We didn't play very well in all phases. It was just it was one of those weekends where things just didn't go well for us, and we didn't get it done, and we have nobody to blame except ourselves.
So, Coach, you in that second game, you just mentioned that 5 more first inning runs, but you had a freshman on the mound, and you decided to leave him on the mound. Take me into your thought process at that point, and then talk about how. And we're talking about Ryan Newtoff. He was able to gave up 5 first inning runs, but really battled back after that and notched 7 strikeouts. So, what went into your decision to say I'm going to leave him out there, and then his talk about resiliency? He showed it in that game.
Well, the thought process was we have another game to play tomorrow, and we already went through a bunch of guys the first day, and if we went to the bullpen in the first inning in game 2, I don't know, we'd probably have some position players out there pitching on Sunday. So we needed Ryan Newtoff to settle down and give us a chance. And that's exactly what he did. He put up zeros the rest of the way out. In fact, we put up zeros the rest of the way out. So we did everything we needed to do as far as being able to overcome that first inning knockdown and get back up and scratch some runs together. And unfortunately, we missed on some scoring opportunities. We had opportunities for 2-out RBIs, and we just didn't get the big hit all weekend that we needed. But the pitching staff after that first inning did exactly what we needed them to do, just settle the game down and allow our offense, which has been good all season, to do something, and we just didn't.
And, Coach, and then in the last game, wasn't the big early hole, the big early deficit that you saw in the first 2 games, but still wound up losing that one 6-3. What about that contest?
Yeah, that was back and forth. It was a 2-1 game going into the late innings, and they put up a 4 spot at the 7th, where again walks and free passes just seemed to plague our team all weekend. Whether it be free passes via walk or hit by pitch, or extra bases with errors, and we just didn't close it down. We didn't play fundamental defense. We didn't attack the zone like we needed to. And we just left a lot of guys on base, didn't get that 2-out RBI when we needed it, didn't get the big hit when we needed it. So, we tried to mount a comeback there in the 9th, just came up short. But I think it was very disappointing on all accounts in all phases of how we played. And so, as I told the team, this wasn't a knockout, this was a knockdown. We got to get back up, and we got to keep fighting. And that's exactly what we did with our training session on Monday, and going into our home opener yesterday with some momentum.
We're talking to Michigan baseball coach Eric Bakich here on the Michigan Insider on Sports Talk 1050 WTKA, online at WTKA.com. And that's a great segue, Coach, because I was going to ask you, I can hear, obviously you're going to be disappointed, frustrated, angry even, in the aftermath of a contest like that. But how do you how do you address it with your team? Is it one of those things where hey, it's so early in the season, you say, hey, it happened, put it behind you, or is it one of those things where it's like kind of a punitive action where you're on them, they're running at practice, they're doing extra things. How do you address it as a coach?
Yeah, no, it's not a punitive thing because we want to get better, and so we're not going to, I like Coach Harbaugh's approach better, where you reward winning. So, it's just one of those things. Very honest with them. Tell them, we're not making any excuses. We have a laundry list of players out and injuries, and we're not going to talk about that. That's not going to be a reason. But we're just going to get better, and we're going to get back up. We're going to dust ourselves off. We're going to get back to our training sessions. We're going to get better, starting with Monday's training session that we had, and we had a great practice. Guys were getting after it and competing, and a lot of intensity and a lot of energy, as you would expect after a disappointing weekend. And that kind of led into yesterday, and yesterday's home opener, our game against Bowling Green, where it didn't matter who we were playing yesterday. Our biggest opponent over the weekend was ourselves, and we were just getting back to just competing, just enjoying each other, trusting the guy next to you, just getting out there and fighting to represent Michigan in the right way, and that's what happened.
4 solid innings from Matt Ogden yesterday, and you had a freshman and Jake Bivens get 3 hits for you. Just 8-3 victory over Bowling Green, as you said. Didn't matter who you were playing, but certainly helps to go out there and notch that victory yesterday. Yeah,
up and down the lineup, a lot of quality at bats. Got good performances from the pitchers that were out there. Matt Ogden didn't walk anybody, gave our defense a chance to make good plays. Mac Lozer pitching out of a bases-loaded jam. Oliver Jaskey, 2 scoreless innings. Michael Hendrickson, scoreless inning. And then the lineup, 1 through 9, competing in the box and being tough in the box. And, got some 2-out RBIs yesterday and had some big hits, some extra base hits. Kevin White with a solo jack and Carmen Benedetti with a bases-clearing triple. Kyle Jusic with a bases-clearing double. Cody Bruder with a 2-out RBI, just up and down the lineup, guys putting together quality at bats, and that's what we needed.
Right.
And that's the momentum we needed to kind of get back on track, get feeling good about ourselves again.
Right, and so that is to have a game in between that and your next Big Ten matchup with Maryland coming up, and obviously a very interesting matchup for you, Coach, coming up this Friday against the Terps. They come to the Wilpon Complex, so. Kind of give us, what does the Maryland program bring to the table, and what is it going to be like to see your old team on the other side?
Well, I don't care about that. This is my team now, and that's all I care about. But they're a good program, good team. They're ranked 11th in the country right now. They've got they're well coached and they've got good players, and they come into this season with a lot of momentum after last year's program setting, record setting season where they went to advance to a super regional and were 1 game away from going to the College World Series. So I still secretly pull for them when they're not in the Big Ten and they're not playing against Michigan because I'm still a fan of those student athletes there and want to see them do well. But there's going to be none of those feelings whatsoever when they roll into town and they're in our way. And we've got an opportunity. It's going to be a good challenge. But it's, I'm 100% made in blue. Sam, come on.
Oh, I know. I understand that. I just, to be able to look back at a program that you helped, take a step and to see them on the other side, just, it always is one of those things where you can look back and take a little bit of pride in the role that you played, and at the same time want to beat the crap out of them when they step on the field with you.
There you go. That's the way to put it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, Coach, the Terps come to town. You face them at the Wilpon Complex on Friday. Folks, 4 o'clock game time, then 2 o'clock on Saturday, and then noon on Sunday. The first 2 games will be on the Big Ten Network. We'll get out and support the Wolverines over at the Wilpon Complex. Coach, good luck coming up this weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds great, Tim. Thanks a lot.
All right, thanks a lot. That was Michigan baseball coach Eric Bakich.